Hello guys, I'm Tom, and today we'll dive into what Azie is. In this segment titled VHS 99, we encounter some very entertaining and memorable short films featuring grotesque, mysterious, and terrifying creatures or monsters. One of these beings stands out as truly exceptional and is known as Azie, who appears in the short film titled Ozzy's Dungeon. This entity is a kind of superior and powerful being, worshipped as a god by some people. As a result, on certain special occasions, Azie grants their wishes. It is due to the mystery surrounding him, his immense power, and his chilling and grotesque appearance that the entity, known as Azie, is quickly earning a place as one of the best monsters in this film series. He's even considered by many as the best monster in VHS 99. That's why, in this video, I will explain in detail the story of Ozzy's Dungeon. To do so, I'll provide a detailed summary of the short film where this creature appears. Then, I'll analyze his physical appearance, known characteristics, and what this monster seems to truly be, taking into account comments from director Flying Lotus and writer Zoe Cooper, as well as the mythology of H.P. Lovecraft. The short film begins with a television program that is a kind of competition show for young people. This program is called Ozzy's Dungeon and is a parody of the TV show Legends of the Hidden Temple, a highly popular adventure-themed game show that aired between 1993 and 1995 in real life. In the short, we see the host, along with some young contestants, dancing before welcoming everyone, saying that in this competition, boys and girls will compete for the chance to meet Azie and have their deepest wish granted. The host emphasizes that this can only happen if they complete all the challenges and emerge as the winners. The host gives the signal, and the first competition begins. Here, we see different contestants with balloons tied to their chests and stomachs, which they must pop by colliding with other participants. At this point, it becomes clear how dangerous the game can be, as the contestants collide with each other, some getting hurt or slightly injured. The host remarks that this danger is what makes Ozzy's Dungeon so fun and special. Interestingly, one contestant gets seriously injured and is carried off stage on a stretcher. However, those carrying him appear to intentionally drop him multiple times, causing the contestant to cry out in pain. Meanwhile, the host cracks jokes and mocks the situation, saying the kid will be fine eventually. The show then moves on to the next competition, catching food with their mouths, in this case, a massive turkey leg. We see the participants trying to grab the turkey leg with their mouths. Many fail and end up covered in sauce and dressing, while the live audience cheers and laughs at the seemingly humorous situation. At this point, a family is shown rooting for their daughter, who ultimately succeeds in catching the turkey leg. At the end of this second stage of the game, the host asks the girl her name and where she's from. She responds that her name is Donna and she's from Detroit, Michigan. Here, the host makes some tasteless jokes about Donna and her family. He asks how they managed to get on the show, and Donna responds that they drove all the way from Detroit. To this, the host remarks that they must be very poor if they couldn't afford a flight to the studio. Regardless, the man announces that the show will continue, and now it's time for the obstacle challenge, the hardest and most dangerous one of all, as no one has ever managed to complete it. At this point, the host asks Donna why she thinks she'll be able to beat the challenge. She replies that she can do anything she sets her mind to, and that this is what her parents have taught her. The contest then proceeds with Donna from Detroit and Timmy from Los Angeles competing to complete the obstacle challenge. The host explains how the challenge, called Ozzie's Holes, works. It consists of a series of slides and tunnels shaped like parts of the human body, such as the stomach, mouth, and other organs. The children must find a flag hidden inside a fake rock with a large crack, move down a slide, and retrieve another flag hidden in a small inflatable pool. Donna and Timmy make their way through the obstacles, but Donna takes the lead as Timmy struggles with the game. It's important to note that participants only have 1 minute to complete the challenge. This is the main reason why it's so difficult, and why no one has ever succeeded. Donna manages to collect the 2 required red flags, but as she enters what seems to be a tunnel, she suffers a severe accident. She trips before exiting because Timmy grabs her foot. This causes Donna to brutally break her leg. Shockingly, no one helps her, and her mother is not allowed to approach. The situation is brutal, and many members of the audience watch in horror and disgust, while the host makes tasteless jokes. Later, we see someone rewinding the tape multiple times, replaying Donna's accident. At this point, it becomes clear that a year has passed since the incident, and Donna's family has captured the show's host. They're holding him in what appears to be the basement of a house, where they've built a recreation of the Ozzy's dungeon set. Donna's mother, Deborah, plays the tape of the incident repeatedly in front of the host to remind him of what happened to her daughter. They seek revenge. The host tells them that in that competition, there were always injured participants, and that everyone signed a waiver absolving the studio of liability before participating. This enrages Deborah even more, and she tells her daughter to show the host her leg, which is now grotesque and nearly unusable. The family forces the host to participate in their own version of Ozzy's dungeon. Interestingly, the man reveals that after the accident, the show was canceled and that there was never a real winner. He also explains that Ozzy is real and that nothing about Donna and Timmy's situation was staged. However, because of Donna's brutal injury, no winner was declared. Despite this, Deborah is furious and threatens the host with a green liquid, an extremely potent and corrosive acid. She forces him to participate in the first challenge, where he is brutally injured using a helmet. Afterward, they make him catch raw meat, which appears to be chicken breasts, with his mouth as part of a grotesque version of the second challenge. Finally, they force him to attempt the obstacle course in less than 60 seconds. Although the man does his best, he fails to complete the challenge in time. As a result, they tie him up again, and when Deborah is about to inject the acid into his eyes, the host begs them not to kill him and promises that he can take them to Azie so he can grant Donna a wish. Mainly, the man does this because he fears for his life. Thus, with nothing left to lose, Donna's family, along with the host, head to the old Ozzy's dungeon studio. The man guides them to the studio, which is mysteriously and eerily empty. They cannot enter through the main door due to armed guards, so the host tells them he will sneak them in through the back. Eventually, they all enter through the back, and once inside, they find the place dark and somewhat abandoned. Despite this, they press on and reach a gigantic wooden door that supposedly leads to the real Ozzy's dungeon, where the entity resides. The studio itself appears to be completely deserted. The host knocks on the large wooden door, which is opened by a woman who also previously worked on the TV show and appears to be dressed in some sort of costume. The host takes a torch handed to him by the woman, and when they all enter, he is shocked to realize that this place is a real cavern, not an artificial set built by the studio. He also comments that he has never entered this area before, nor gone beyond the wooden door. As they walk through the dark cavern, Deborah tells the host that she plans to ask Azie for a new car and $15 million. The host then sarcastically asks when Donna ever said that. Eventually, they reach a very macabre area where they hear strange music, or rather, a choral chant. Before entering this section, the host whispers something into Donna's ear. He then takes the girl in her wheelchair, telling her parents that he will be the one to bring her forward because Azie can sense her aura. In the center of the cavern lies a grotesque altar with a very obese woman reclining on it. On either side of the altar and in front of it are people chanting, while others kneel or bow as if in prayer. The host tells Donna, as they approach the woman, to make a good wish. The reclining woman has an extremely grotesque and disgusting appearance. She is severely bloated, with a colossal, inhumanly large stomach. She appears to be in a trance or unconscious. Oddly, around the woman and behind her, there are many pillows, candles, and a bowl of fruit. Donna moves closer and whispers her wish to the woman, who then begins to convulse and scream, or rather, emit a horrifying, deep moan. Suddenly, thunder and lightning strike inside the cavern. The woman's screaming continues, and we see a man wearing an animal skull helmet raising his hands as if celebrating the wish. More supernatural thunder and lightning appear. Then, in a grotesque and unexpected way, the woman's stomach splits open, and from it emerges a creature, a brutally amorphous being, with a loud roar. The creature fully emerges, revealing a single glowing eye on what seems to be its head. The entity writhes and roars violently, while the woman from whom it emerged apparently dies. Everyone watches in horror, questioning what is happening. The creature then emits intense flashes of light, known as deadlights, causing everyone who sees them to fall to the ground in terror. The creature's signals intensify, and we see the host's face begin to melt as he dies. This also happens to Deborah, Donna's father, and her brother, who is recording everything. The situation becomes chaotic as the creature continues its rampage. While everyone dies, we see Donna's brother collapse, and the camera focuses on Donna, who is smiling in a very macabre and sinister way, implying that she wished for Ozzy to kill everyone responsible for her losing her leg. This is where the story of the short film VHS 99 ends. Now, to delve deeper into all of this, I will discuss Ozzy's physical appearance and characteristics. Then, I'll explain why Donna did what she did and afterward, explore what this entity truly is based on comments from the director Steven Allison, also known as Flying Lotus, and the screenwriter Zoe Cooper. The entity known as Azie has a unique, grotesque, and terrifying appearance. It resembles an amorphous, fleshy creature with a pinkish-purple hue. The being only emerges from its host's stomach and is quite large, appearing to measure between 1.5 and 2 meters, 5 to 6.5 feet in height. Its body is somewhat chubby and wide, especially near the head, giving the impression that the creature is constantly puffing out its chest. It has multiple tentacles on either side of its body, approximately 6 or 7 on each side, varying in size, length, and thickness. The creature has a vaguely humanoid head that lacks actual facial features. At the top of its head, the creature has 5 shorter tentacles that appear harder and more durable. These tentacles resemble either the creature's horns or a sort of crown worn by the entity. In the center of its face, the creature has a large, humanoid, glowing pink eye with a fleshy pupil. Additionally, the creature's body features small holes near what would be its chest and head, further adding to its amorphous and grotesque appearance. When the entity emits its deadlights, it lets out a ferocious roar accompanied by a unique sound, like static or a very low-frequency noise, which is somewhat deafening. Its eye opens in an exaggerated manner as it does this, and around the creature, both in front, behind, and to its sides, circles of invocation with sigils or unknown arcane symbols appear, emphasizing the entity's demonic or interdimensional nature. Before diving into what this entity truly is, I want to explain why Donna made her wish and what really happened in the cavern. According to the director's comments, Donna was originally a poor girl from Detroit who participated in Ozzy's dungeon to save her family from extreme poverty and escape the dangerous neighborhood where they lived. She was initially very cheerful and enthusiastic. However, she became increasingly bitter after losing her leg during the contest. According to the director Steven Allison, also known as Flying Lotus, Donna's family was so poor they couldn't afford all the surgeries she needed to walk again. As a result, she was confined to a wheelchair, with her legs still injured and deteriorating. The director mentioned that Deborah, Donna's mother, had prepared her to win the contest at any cost, so Deborah could use Donna's wish to ask for prizes for herself. Essentially, she was exploiting her daughter as a means to escape Detroit and become wealthy. The director noted that Deborah was angry during the second part of the short film, not because of what happened to Donna, but because she didn't win. This is the main reason Deborah seeks revenge, and why the show's host ultimately pays the price. Donna realized all of this when her leg broke, and her mother kept yelling at her to crawl with all her might because she was so close to winning. This is the main reason Donna wished to eliminate everyone who caused her accident and used her for their own gain. This is why the show's host, her brother, her mother, and her father all died. The entity killed them all with its deadlights, brutally melting their faces. Azie is an ancient, monstrous creature. Based on what we see in the short film, I conclude that the monster in Azie's dungeon is actually Nyarlathotep, or a being similar to it, descended from the Lovecraftian mythos or the Cthulhu mythos. It's revealed that Nyarlathotep is a highly complex being that enjoys being worshipped and regarded as a superior entity worthy of devotion. Interestingly, it's a malevolent being that often ends human lives in brutal ways simply because it desires to. In Lovecraft's mythology, most outer gods have their own cults that serve them. Interestingly, Nyarlathotep serves these cults in the absence of the outer gods. This aligns with what we see in the short film, as Azie appears to enjoy being worshipped and seen as something superior. It also seems to thrive on the pain and suffering of participants when they get hurt, though it also fulfills at least one wish, as if bound to serve. However, its true intentions remain unknown, and it's likely that over time it would destroy the cult members, just as it did with Donna, granting her wish while demonstrating its power and magical abilities, akin to Lovecraft stories. In Lovecraft's writings, it's said that Nyarlathotep can manifest as a human, often appearing as a tall gentleman or a pharaoh. However, it's also said that it has thousands of other forms and manifestations, which are horrifying and grotesque, capable of shattering the sanity, mind, and body of those who behold them. This trait seems evident in what we see at the end of the short film. Based on all the evidence, I conclude that Azie is director Stephen Ellison's interpretation of Lovecraft's Nyarlathotep. Well, this is everything we know about Azie and Azie's dungeon. Honestly, this short film is one of my favorites from the VHS 99 anthology because I find it very intriguing and grotesque, especially with that unexpected ending, the plot twists, and the incredible monster named Azie. I really enjoyed the creature's design, which I think closely resembles Lovecraft's narrative. I also appreciated the use of the concept of deadlights, or will-o'-the-wisps to attack and kill its victims, as I believe this is a very Lovecraftian and cosmic horror element. Although the entire short film isn't about this, personally, this is my favorite monster from this installment of VHS 99. It's generally ruthless and powerful, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you already know about the story of Azie's dungeon and VHS 99? Did you know what this creature really was and its connection to Lovecraft's mythology? And finally, did you understand why Donna made that wish and why she betrayed her family? Leave your answers to these questions and your general opinion about this monster from Azie's dungeon in the entertaining film VHS 99. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, share it to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my new videos.